Good evening. Coming up in Mello TV Evening News, 14-year-old burn victim returns to Jamaica following treatment overseas. 84-year-old man charged with double murder in Hanover. Medical technologists to stage island-wide protest over union dispute. And wanted man is this evening in police custody. And now the news in detail. 14-year-old Aquila Dunkley, who was badly burnt during a gas explosion at her home, returned to Jamaica on Saturday, where she has been admitted at the University Hospital of the West Indies for further treatment. Dr. Simone Dundas-Biles, consultant pediatric surgeon at the University Hospital, gave details on the care provided to Aquila.
Aquila was our patient before. She arrived at our hospital first in June when she had sustained her injuries. It was here that she was stabilized and resuscitated, and because of the suspicion of inhalational injury, she was admitted to our intensive care unit, where she was managed by a number of teams, including the intensive care unit team and the plastic and reconstructive surgery team. We stabilized her, but after such extensive burns, survival is far from a given. And we're very grateful to the San Myrna Foundation and the Joseph M. Still Burn Center in Atlanta, Georgia, for reaching out a hand in that time of need to really give her that advantage for survival.
Dr. Biles says that the University Hospital has plans to improve its facilities in order to provide full service for burn patients and plans to continue supporting Aquila's recovery.
We are in the process of trying to upgrade to make sure that we have major burn centers with all the facilities and equipment that can manage injuries such as Aquilia's all the way through. In the absence of that, though, they were friends in need, friends indeed, and we're extremely grateful for the help that they provided to allow her top-class care that could bring her through to the point where she's walking and looking forward to eating Jamaican food and surviving. She'll continue her care as an inpatient temporarily for now, because she still needs burn wound care, physiotherapy, nutritional support, and as a means of getting back acclimatized, there will also perhaps be some counseling to assist. This was a major traumatic event in her life and in that of her family, and we look forward to supporting her and to the day when she can return to home, not hospital, but home.
Technical Director of the San Mara Foundation, Mark White, is appealing to Jamaicans to be more careful with fires and take precaution with stove, electric devices, and instant soups, which are said to be very common cause for burns.
The doctors in Jamaica are doing a tremendous job in trying to assist as well as possible. You understand, as much as possible, but we have to play our part. And we are asking you all to just do your part and be careful, because as they say in Atlanta at the burn center, is that cup soup is the #1 burn victim over the world right now.
Having cup soup?
Yes, preparing a cup soup is the #1 burn victim. Well, massive burn like this, trauma like this, you cannot deal with here. But even getting a burn, to the navel or to the chest or anywhere with cup soup, it is the #1 burn.
Aquila sustained mostly second-degree burns, which affected 50% of her body. On Friday, August 18, she was discharged from the Joseph M. Still Burn Center in Augusta, Georgia, in the United States, where she successfully completed 7 surgeries. In other news this evening, ahead of the Jamaica Teachers Association's 59th annual conference, Bishop Leon Golding highlighted the need for equal educational opportunities for all children, irrespective of their backgrounds or school types. Speaking at a pre-conference church service, Bishop Golding emphasized that biases based on schools or neighborhoods must be addressed for a fair and inclusive education system. Bishop Golding's stance aligns with past suggestions, including deploying top teachers to non-traditional schools for improved quality and eradicating school labeling to prevent perceptions of superiority. Notably, over 85% of students sitting the primary exit profile PEP exam were placed in their chosen schools. Bishop Golding urged teachers to provide unwavering support, playing a vital role in fostering students' faith and self-belief amid educational societal challenges. He also called for unity in safeguarding children and empowering them to realize their potential. Charges have been filed by the Hanover Criminal Investigations Bureau against 84-year-old Roy Nesbeth in connection with the deaths of two women, including his 73-year-old wife, who is a retired nurse. Nesbeth turned himself in to the authorities over the weekend and was later charged. On Sunday afternoon, Nesbeth reportedly admitted to the murders of his 73-year-old wife, Tika Anderson Nesbeth, and 80-year-old Patsy Allen. Mrs. Anderson Nesbeth was also the primary caregiver for Miss Allen. The two women were discovered within hours dead of each other on August 12 in Grange District, Green Island, Hanover. Miss Allen's lifeless body was found by a family member around 5 p.m. at her Kendall residence, displaying a neck stab wound. Miss Anderson Nesbeth was found in her home, having sustained a stab wound to the head just 2 hours later. Investigators have pieced together a theory suggesting that Mr. Nesbeth's actions were driven by suspicion of infidelity on his wife's part. He reportedly accused her of having an affair with a relative of Miss Allen and allegedly believed that his wife intended to dissolve their marriage. He is believed to have accused Miss Allen of being aware of the affair and providing support to his wife in the matter, which investigators think may have triggered her murder. And over in St. Mary, the police have arrested and charged a 66-year-old farmer for allegedly raping and assaulting a 7-year-old girl. The incident is said to have occurred multiple times by the farmer against the child in the Albion Mountain area of the parish over the course of this year. The accused, Reginald Hibbert, otherwise called Reggie, has been charged with rape and grievous assault. Reports are that Hibbert, who is related to the child, allegedly sexually assaulted her on 3 occasions. His actions were detected by another family member who reportedly questioned the child. A report was later made to the Albion police, which led to Hibbert being taken into custody and subsequently charged on Saturday, August 18. Despite efforts to evade capture, a Hanover man wanted for cases of shooting and wounding has been arrested by the police. Acting Area 1 Commander Senior Superintendent Vernon Ellis gave details of the capture.
Last week in an interview, the commanding officer for Hanover did ask Mr. OBrien Garvey, OCF1, to turn himself in to the police relative to cases of shooting and wounding that he is wanted for in the Hanover division. Mr. Garvey did not follow the requests and instructions of the commanding officer there. Earlier today, a tactical response team that was deployed from the St. James division in a rural community in St. James went in pursuit of Mr. OBrien Garvey. Garvey was seen. He ran from the police. He was pursued extensively. He was captured by the police. He was taken into custody and he has been handed over to the detectives in the Hanover division.
Area 1 covers Trelawney, St. James, Hanover, and Westmoreland. Following recent arson attacks that left 11 homes firebombed, over 40 people homeless and 1 person dead, Member of Parliament for East Central St. Catherine, Alando Terrelong, has assessed the area and announced that plans are underway to rebuild the homes under Operation Phoenix. The initiative aims to restore lives and homes after the destructive incidents. Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Desmond McKenzie, joined the assessment and care packages were distributed to the residents. Mr. Terrelong also noted that residents will receive support from various agencies for emergency and back-to-school supplies as well as back-to-school health fairs, which will benefit over 300 children and parents. Mr. Terrelong says the rebuilding efforts will have a positive transformation on the Walkers Avenue and Mexico areas of Gregory Park. He urged cooperation with law enforcement to identify those responsible and for the attacks, and commended the security forces for maintaining peace in the area. Government-paid medical technologists are preparing for a widespread protest against the Union of Technical, Administrative and Supervisory Personnel, UTOSP. The protest follows UTOSP's rejection of a recent compensation review package without consulting the medical technologists. The dispute intensified after an election organized by UTOSP's chief delegate, which was deemed unfair due to the inclusion of individuals from outside the medical technologists' profession in the vote count. Senior medical technologist Delando Montague is seeking the support of key government figures, including Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Ministers Dr. Nigel Clark and Dr. Christopher Tufton.
My name is Donald Montague, Senior Medical Technologist at Corner Regional Hospital. We stand here in solidarity for the members of the medical technology body right across the island. We have been suffering, and this is dire straits. We are frustrated, and it's very unfortunate that we have to take this drastic action. We are basically acting against what UTAS has been doing to us. They refuse to sign the wage agreement, which is phase 1, and move on to phase 2. We are frustrated with the chief delegate, who is adamant that he's not signed in. They decided not to sign from last year before the wage package was given to all the medical technologists. But we are clamoring for the thing to be signed and for the government to intervene to give us some assistance. The Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Health, Jamaica Confederation of Trade Union, Mrs. Ellen Davis White, and we would love if they could intervene and give us an impetus, because medtechs are suffering island-wide.
The medical technologists are concerned about UTOSP's handling of the compensation review rather than the government's proposal.
We didn't want it to reach this way, but we had no choice. The involuntary hunger strike that was brought upon us by the chief delegate, whose name is on that document, it was forced on us. So we didn't want the public to be affected by our go-slow, and also our sit-out between the lunch hour, which is 12 to 1, but we had to make a stand. And this is a stand that we're making to let the public know and sensitize the public of what the cruelty UTAS has dished out to the medical technologists island-wide, who are unable to pay their student loans, they pay their rent, pay their utilities. The majority of the medical technologists are junior staff, and they would have benefited greatly from this salary increase. And persons who are in the hierarchy seems to have a personal agenda, and they are inflicting it upon us.
And those are the stories making the news this evening. Thank you for tuning in to Mello TV Evening News. I'm Nicole Hales. Stay safe, and thanks for watching.